Dear God, bless all our actions and carry them on by thy gracious assistance, so that every prayer and good work of ours may begin from thee and by thee be happily ended through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Okay. Roll call, Jim.
All right. Rob Snyder,
Present.
Joe VonSas,
Here.
Tim Klunk,
Here.
Kim Wagner, here. Keith Lewter,
Here.
Tom Snyder, Steve Pascoe.
Here. Okay. Item 5, approval of the September 11th, 2024 meeting minutes. So I need a motion to approve the September 11th meeting minutes as written.
I make a motion to accept the minutes
Okay.
as written.
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Next is the announcements, communications. Any report, Jess?
I just want to let everyone know about e-cycling on Saturday from 9 to 12 at the maintenance building, 25 Oak Lane. So 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yep. And the mayor's not here. Chief?
Yes,
can
if I
you
may.
give a report?
Excuse me. For this month's report, I have conducted a 9-month performance review of the McSherrystown Borough Police Department. This scorecard consists of examining key performance areas to assess overall effectiveness. This report compares the following metrics: total calls for service, criminal incidents, criminal arrests, citations, parking tickets, traffic accidents, and overall clearance rates. This report is based upon RMS data between January 2023 to September 2023 versus January 2024 to September 2024. I am pleased to provide you with my findings for your review. January to September 2023, our calls for service were 1,315. From January to September 2024, our calls for service were 1,608, which is an increase of 19%. Our criminal incidents from January to September 2023 were 100. From January to September 2024, this was 68, which is a decrease in 32%. Criminal arrests from January to September 2023 were 31. In 2024, we had 39. This is up by 21%. Our clearance rate in 2023 was 69%. In 2024, 79%, which is an increase of 10%. Parking tickets, we had 9 in 2023. In 2024, we had 11. That's up by 19%. Citations, in 2023, we had 102. In 2024, we had 64, which is a decrease in 37%. For our traffic accidents, from January to September 2023, we had 42. From January to September 2024, we had 34, which is a decrease of 19%. For September 2024, for the monthly report, we had 172 total calls for service. We had 28 building checks, 68 business checks, 5 school checks. Animal complaints, we had 2. Civil incidents, we had 2. We had 1 disturbance, 3 domestics, 2 drug violation, 1 firearm, 1 harassment, 1 juvenile. Ordinance violations, we had 2. For sex offenses, we had 1. Shots fired, we had 1. Suspicious activity, we had 7. Thefts, we had 2. We had 6 traffic accidents for this month. Warrants, we had 1. Community policing initiatives, we had 6 assist medical, 4 assist police, 3 family and children, 2 lost and found, and 2 mutual aid. We had 2 ordinance violations. Oh, this is a duplicate page, my apologies. For time and attendance, we had 671 patrol hours. Overtime hours, we had 60.63. Vacation time was 60. For traffic enforcement, we had 18 vehicle stops, 8 traffic citations, 12 traffic warnings, 4 parking complaints, and 1 parking citation. For total miles for the patrol vehicles for September, we had a 1,150.5 and a total fuel use of 173 gallons. And the donations for September were $500.
All right. Thank you for that. Do you want to make the comment about what's
Yes.
coming up here in a couple of weeks?
Our night for trick or treat this year will be on the 22nd, October 22nd.
That's a Tuesday,
Yes, sir.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. There you go, for everybody. Okay, thank you for that. We'll move on to public comments. Thanks. All right, Jordan, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with 372 North Street, the old FX Smith cigar factory, and I don't think I have too much business to discuss, but I basically wanted to say hi. I finally purchased the building and getting ready for construction, hopefully soon, but some of that is what I wanted to talk about. I've done probably 30 plus redevelopment projects around the area, and they're all handled differently. Some that have more impact and bigger sites take a in-depth land development plan. This project it's all impervious and it's an existing building. Lots of times I go right to Borough Council and ask either for a waiver to get out of the full process, or we can do a land development agreement or a developer's agreement to hold me to some assurances. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I recently did 3 projects in Hanover. Had no land development process. I did 2 in Dallastown, no land development process. I did 4 in Redline, 3 with full land development processes, 1 without. So just to give you a little idea of how it is across the board, but most of the time it works with how much impact or impervious surface that I'm changing. There's things like stormwater runoff and other things. I know Jessica prepared a sheet for everyone to look at, and I didn't know if we wanted to just run down through that point by point, and I can maybe address it to show you how I've dealt with it in the past, or ways we could even deal with it on this project. So I don't know if that'd be helpful.
Do you have a copy of that?
I have it on my phone, but yeah. So the first one is like sewage facilities. I think we had a kind of separate meeting, and one of the first questions I asked was if there was water and sewage capacity, and you guys said there was. So that's one of the first things before I buy them. Are we good, Councilman?
Yeah, sure, we have time. We don't have a lot
All right.
going on here. Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I've done anything from not having to do a single thing because there's existing connections and similar size bathroom and water usage to doing a planning module. So I'm happy to do whatever you guys would request on that.
Can I interject? I'm sure that sewer, there is sewer and water there, but do you know what size the sewer line is and the size of the water line currently?
Yeah, there's 2 small 1-inch lines coming in for the house and the building for the domestic, and then there's a big 6 or 8-inch sprinkler main coming in. And then for the sewage, there's 2 4-inch lines going out.
2?
Yeah, one for the house and one for the big building.
Okay, so the house is, which building are you taking down to facilitate parking?
Just that little garage in the back, that little blue,
Yeah.
it's almost like a pole barn structure.
So that has no utilities in it?
No.
Excuse me.
It's actually really thinly built, and I was surprised at how nice it looked on the outside. When I looked at it, I was like, wow, it's a shell. So,
What are you doing with the big, it looks like a big house. Stand in front to the left of it, it's a separate building.
yep, the house, I'm gonna actually make apartments out of it.
Yeah, the one on the right and the left. Yeah, you're taking out that thing in the middle, basically. Yeah, in the
thing
back
in-
middle,
The
right?
thing in the middle, actually, I'm gonna keep it as like the main entryway from the front and back, and kind of use it as a vestibule. In there, I want to actually house some like FX Smith stuff. I got a bunch of their
Oh.
historic things, so I'm pretty excited about
Okay.
that. Yeah, so that'll be kind of like a lobby.
So you feel that the existing sewer and water line is going to be sufficient?
I just sent all my stuff to my engineer, so I'll know that really soon on all the water sizes and stuff. I would say the domestic, I gotta see and also what you guys wanna do. I've tied sprinkler and domestic in on the same one to feed the buildings, so I gotta see if that's allowable by you guys and you're fine with that.
The 8-inch sprinkler system should have its own water meter.
Yep.
Now that is a higher rate. You might want to consider that.
For the bill for the monthly, yeah. Because I'm used to getting a domestic bill and a sprinkler bill.
So you're familiar with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the 2 4-inch lines are probably going to be sufficient because I just did 2 12-unit projects and 4 was good. So here I have 16. So I'm pretty confident with that. And I can set it up similarly, 1 going out for the house and 1 for the other ones.
Definitely recommend that you camera it to see what kind of sewer pipe it is.
Couldn't agree more. So if it's not good,
It could be terracotta.
I prefer to replace it with new SDR.
Yeah.
So-
1 week into it, and
Yeah. Not worth it, especially when everything's new. So.
No,
yeah.
are you going to be there for the day-to-day process, or?
I am there, I would say 80% of the time, and if not, one of my lead guys will be there.
The only reason why I ask is they said that I'm next door,
Yeah,
and they said that you always bring lunch for the guys. So
yeah.
I'm a hop the fence. I'm just I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
Yeah, the nice thing too is I don't plan to do anything. I don't plan to do anything on your side except when we replace windows or sides. So
Right.
That's kind of nice because I know that it owns like a certain amount into there.
The only thing came to question was parking. I think you covered that great. So
Yeah. So.
we're good. We're good.
Luke, do you have any questions about any of this yet so far?
Nothing specific at this point. We'll take a look at the project and see if land development or developers agreement's the way to go. And
Sounds
we'll-
good.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing I run into is if we do the land development, then there's a set process, and you have to follow that process to the T. There's not really any wiggle room. It could be 6 to 8 months and probably $100,000. So that's usually how it works for
for
an
the-
existing building that I can't change much on anyway.
Right, so we're hoping to avoid that, is what you're saying.
That's
Yep,
I'd like to get building permits and get rolling.
Yeah.
You know, whatever zoning, I want to meet that. I want to give you guys your assurances, but yeah. If you continue going down through compliance with zoning, which that should be fine. It's an existing building, and we went through zoning. I'm probably going to end up doing some kind of zoning permit before I get my building permit, I would assume. So that would kind of be handled then. It asked about that existing building. We touched on that. That small building I would be knocking down, but it's trading impervious for impervious. Some parking to be accommodated in the basement of the existing structure. I was doing that because when I bought it, there were already cars down there. So I was assuming if I do minimal parking there, it wouldn't be a problem. I don't know that I can even conform with certain site distances that an engineer would be looking for. I have other properties that have utilized existing basements for parking garages, and it is not easy. Some people have to do like a 3-point turn to get into the parking spots, but at the end of the day, they really like those parking spots because they're covered and underground, and it really benefits the area to have more parking. And yeah, it's just what I see. We end up renting those spots, which is crazy, and they're very hard to get into and out of. So, site lighting plan, I've done photometric plans for certain buildings. What I typically do is pick very tasteful lights, so I'm not just hanging a huge parking lot light on the side of the building and stuff, so I usually just don't have that problem. The one thing too is I wouldn't be adding lighting on your side, so that doesn't matter. The other side is strictly parking, and then there's one house beside me, which I like to work with the neighbors. I already met that gentleman and everything, so.
Will you have a fence like on his side?
I don't know if I'll do a fence, because that
I was looking at it the other day. I'm like that, and I was wondering.
that parking lot's a little weird too. So if we want to do a fence, like I'll talk to him. You know, sometimes fences make good neighbors, sometimes they don't. It's whatever. So, storm drain improvements if needed. Again, I would recommend if you want to talk to like Eric Maines at Hanover Borough to see how they did it. He's a well-known engineer, and he's saying if you don't change any of the stormwater, which all those gutters, downspouts, and it's all impervious, that's kind of the way I look at it. And then,
We actually have, our engineering firm is Barry Isett. So if there's any question, be best to talk to them.
sounds good. Sounds good. I just didn't know if it helped for this process to try and navigate this process, that's all.
They're the ones that are gonna have to sign off on it, so.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. So if you're going down a process, then we probably have to follow it. That's all I'm trying to get. Basically a waiver to avoid that whole land development process, or if there's a way to do some kind of different one. But I'm happy to provide you with a plan, or even at the end, an as-built plan, which I find more valuable than anything, because you put these plans in place, but then you run into something you didn't see, and then there's little changes. So an as-built plan at the end, I find really valuable for you guys to know exactly what's there. Yeah, and then everything else is, setbacks and stuff are all existing, so.
And you already have a layout for the trash. It's gonna be dumpsters.
Yep.
Is it one or two dumpsters that you have recycling and trash, or how's that?
What do you guys do? Do you have recycling and trash?
We do have recycling here in town,
Okay.
and mandatory recycling.
Yeah. Then,
So, but that would be, well, there are recycling dumpsters, right? So if you did two,
Have to have two minimum, yeah.
now the thing is that would be a large truck. That would
Oh,
come
room
in
to
and-
come in and,
Yeah, so
yeah,
that
lift it.
so that needs to be taken into consideration when you're doing your.
am I allowed to go through a third party, or do I have to use borough trash and recycling? Because typically, like on a commercial project, I
Yeah.
just get my own dumpsters and trash and recycling, and it's not.
During the building process, you can use whoever,
Okay.
but in town, for trash and recycling, you would use our
you have a contract.
contracted.
If I,
Okay.
Lynn Court, if you're familiar with that, I thought they only had one, just a dumpster. I don't know if they have recycling here or not. I think everybody's throwing their recycling all in one thing.
A recycling dumpster too, right?
No,
Saying there's only one.
it's only one. I think everybody's throwing everything in that one thing.
Oh.
That's McSherrystown.
Not recycling.
I don't remember seeing recycling.
We can look into it, yeah.
Yeah, we can look into it.
Okay.
But I'm happy to do both and
Yeah.
include that on the plans, so.
Yep. All right.
Thank you very much for your time, and
Yep.
I'm really excited to do it, so hopefully you guys can continue helping me along with the process. So.
So is there anything that we need to put forth to George?
Not tonight, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know what you're
Yeah.
looking for. if
We'll
there's-
talk about it a little and try to figure out what's the best way to go about it.
All right, thanks very much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm glad, yeah, you're
That was
moving
a-
forward on it.
That was a little touch and go there for a while. We weren't sure you were going to be able to.
I was hanging on, so, yeah, so thank you very much for having patience in me too,
Well,
so.
we're really anxious for you to get started and to turn that into a usable facility.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
So the other day I was in there and there's like old barrel roll ceilings with, old wood trusses. It's gonna be really cool.
Oh, that'll be
so.
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You'll have to have
you
an
can't
open
see any of
house.
that. Yeah, I would definitely do that, yep.
Yeah, thanks.
So I like to get like firemen in and stuff as we're
Yeah.
doing it, because they like to
That's
see
true.
how the construction's done and everything,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, happy to do all of that.
We go to those barn, they had barn doors in there, those.
I have no idea what barn doors you're
I
talking
mean,
about.
I call them barn doors. They slide across. I'm from New York. I just know
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Are they like the sliding fire
Yes.
doors? Yeah, if we can keep them, we keep them.
Yeah,
So,
they're
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, anything that's good and positive, we keep, and
Got some
then
beautiful,
everything that's old, we have to modernize.
but there's some beautiful wood in there.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
So I've been telling people we're going to try and get most of the tobacco smell out, but we'll leave a little bit.
There you go. All right,
Thanks,
take
guys.
care.
Have a
Yep,
great
all
one.
right. Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll get into the new business here. We need approval to hire a public works employee. The Personnel Committee is recommending we hire Nathan Arntz to the position of Public Works laborer at a rate of $25 an hour. I need a motion to
I'll make a
extend
motion.
an offer.
I'll make a motion that we hire Nathan.
Okay. We have a second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, none opposed then. Motion carries. And Jesse, what is it, the 28th you said about his starting, I think?
We'll offer it to him after the motion tonight,
Yeah.
and
And,
it'll
yep,
be end
go
of the
from
month.
there. Thanks.
Yep.
And we've had Dave now, he's been here a week, right?
Can I say one thing? I want this community is wonderful to work with.
Yeah,
Thank you.
come on up, come on up.
They want you
Oh,
on
there's,
camera.
Yeah, we like to hear the
can
good
you,
stuff.
can you grab that microphone right there and put up at the podium? And then please speak.
No, it's a wonderful, wonderful community. From where I came from to here, just the folks I've had dealings with. I don't know the young fellow's name, Mr. Rick.
Oh, yeah,
People volunteer to help.
Rick Croft.
Yeah,
Yep.
volunteer to help. Mr. Bob, not to be a kiss off, but he picked up the limbs and all had them in a pile for me. It's just making my job. I'm in the learning process. You got a whole lot more out which Snyder thought. But yeah, we're getting caught up. The grass, we got everything pretty much caught up, except I'm holding off till maybe tomorrow afternoon, Friday, to do the ball field for the football, because keep it nice. But the tractor y'all bought, wonderful,
yeah, we just got,
made a world of difference.
that was
Glad to hear that.
Mr. Nate gets here, and Miss Jessica, she's been wonderful to deal
Yep.
with. Anything I need, anything, it's just, she's great.
well, we
So
appreciate
I
having you. We do have.
appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to serve you guys.
All right, yep, we thank you too.
But it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Miss Jessica and Mr. Bob.
I got
Pleasure.
Sir, ma'am.
No, that's fine. In fact, I wanted to thank, there's been a lot of people that have volunteered these last 2 months, and I'm not going to name them, but we appreciate all the help that was provided since we didn't have our public works guys. People, we didn't miss a beat. I didn't hear too many complaints. So maybe Jess did. Anyway, okay, so now we'll move on to the next one. It's an approval of ordinance 2020-401. It's adopting the pollutant limits for wastewater discharge in the borough in the form provided by Hanover Borough. And if there's any questions on that, Luke and everybody, we had that last month to look over. So if not, we need an approval to approve ordinance 2020-301, adopting pollutant limits for wastewater discharge in the borough. Need a motion to approve that. Or the 2020-401.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance 2024-01.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. And then we need approval of a right to know law policy. Everyone's provided a copy of the right to know law policy in their email. This policy will be posted on the website with the updated right to know form. So I need a motion to approve the right to know law policy.
Make a motion to accept the right to know law, policy 65 PS.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Yep. Pascoe. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And then approval of the expenditures. Any question about those? Yeah. We all saw what we saw, and I don't know if there's much to discuss about it at this point. Do I have a motion to approve? From 9:10 to 10:07.
Motion approved.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries on that. Is there anything else that anybody would like to say before we close? No? We thank you for being here, everyone. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.